In early November, you tweeted a long tweet. So I'll give the TLDR here. Too long, didn't read. But I read it, obviously. I know no one wants to hear bullish ideas, and everyone is scared and wants to fling poo at each other.
The monkey's flinging poo.
But the road to Valhalla is getting very close. Then you explain a bunch of liquidity and macro stuff. And ended up saying, buy the fucking dip if you can. When this number goes up, you're referring to the total liquidity index. All number go up. Is your advice in December 2025 still to buy the fucking dip?
Yeah. And I think we had the final low. So we had the October liquidation. So liquidity got withdrawn by the US government via the Treasury General account. We had an air pocket of liquidity from that. And then they shut down the government. And then now there's no liquidity because they can't even spend the TGA. So what happened was crypto, being the most liquidity sensitive, nuked and exposed all the weaknesses of leverage that you and I know so well. The whole thing nukes and it triggers this, issues with how the system calculates leverage and stuff. Okay, fine. We rally back. We've come back down. Some of them went through it. Some of them didn't go back through that low, but we're kind of basing around those levels. And then suddenly out of nowhere today, things are up 20%, 30% in a day. And you're like, okay, the signal's probably there. So the dip zone, again, nobody needs to buy the absolute bottom, but that dip zone has been forming from November, because after October, we had the November pullback, and then into the end of November, we had the final sell-off, and somewhere here feels like it's there. Now, looking forwards, if I'm right in all of the work that I do about liquidity, we've got a flood of liquidity coming. So right now, the system is telling us the banking system is constrained and it keeps causing spikes in money market stuff. There's not enough money around. The Fed know it. They stopped QT. Okay, one job done. But the other job is they've got to get through year-end funding. There's not enough liquidity for the banks to roll their debts and to do their balance sheet work. So the Fed are going to have to inject some liquidity. It'll be some 3-letter acronym based in the repo market or whatever, but they have to do it. But they made a huge announcement that most people don't understand, which is the ESLR, another nice acronym, and the supplementary leverage ratio means nothing. They never do these things. What they've basically said is what we used to say, US Treasuries carry this much risk. And so on your balance sheet, we're going to penalize you for holding them. But then the less risky asset, so they've got this tug of war with the banks of what they want to do. And they've just said, you know what? We're going to shrink how much risk you have to put on your balance sheet by owning treasuries. What does that mean? It means the banks will buy a lot of treasuries, which is what the government needs to do, is sell treasuries. That's their job right now. So the banks can use treasuries. You're hearing Scott Bessent saying, we want the money to flow to Wall Street, Main Street, and not just Wall Street. What he's saying is, we don't want the central bank to do QE. Every moron on Twitter goes, see, they're tightening. They don't want anything. What they're saying is, oh, we're going to let the treasury print money instead and stuff it down the necks of the banking system. And the banks, being so good at what they do, lever it up and lend it out or provide liquidity. So the entire apparatus of managing the debts is moving from the Fed to the government. So the government creates its own buyer for its own treasuries. It's an easier way to debase currency. But the ESLR changes are important because the system's screwed up because of these changes after the financial crisis. So that was announced, rushed through, because I'd been writing about it and I was like, they'll announce it sometime in Jan, Feb that they're going to implement it. No, came through straight out, done. We've agreed it with the banks. We're doing it January 1st. I'm like, wow. So that tells you they understand the game. The moment it was announced, and Steve Mirren had been pushing this thing through, the moment it was announced, Steve Mirren published another paper that day and said, good job, not enough. We need to reduce all risk weighting on treasuries. So 100% no risk for treasuries. So now there's an unlimited purchasing of bonds that can happen when needed. And you can really expand the money supply. And that, because it's credit, ends up going to ordinary people. They also buy more bonds, which lowers the long end of the bond market, which lowers the mortgage rates, lowers the government funding. It's a big deal. We're talking, this is going to end up being 3 to 4 trillion, maybe 3 to 5 trillion of extra liquidity. Oh, and then we've got rate cuts. Oh, and then on top of that, we've got $1.5 trillion probably in direct banking system deposits coming out of the new stimulus. I mean, don't forget, every single service worker in America gets paid on tips. They're all zero tax. So you're freeing up a ton of disposable income, mortgage rates come down, all of that. So that unleashes the business cycle. So you've got a lot of liquidity things happening all at the same time. In the middle of that, you've got the Clarity Act, whether it comes end of this year or by mid-Jan, it's coming. And that allows everybody to use crypto because it'll have been defined on how to use it. So we've got an extraordinarily powerful year ahead of us. We've had to go through the hard part, which was this liquidity squeeze, but that will give us what we want going forwards. We then get the explosion of stablecoins. This explosion of stablecoins allow the government to issue more bonds because we've got these new holders who could be anybody in any country now, are basically owning government bonds via stablecoins. So the money is coming to roll the 10 trillion of debt. Meanwhile, the Chinese are printing money. Their balance sheet's increasing. The Japanese are doing massive fiscal stimulus. And so the game is on.